Because I've made some research and findings, but I got nothing.
He is the owner of Asu Rock and Sons Nigeria Limited. So you don't do? Ah, uncle, you fold my hand and bend my legs join.
Because I don't understand where he got money to give out iPhones that are worth more than $500,000 as souvenir on his wedding. I don't even want to talk about the fact that thousands and if not millions of people are hungry in this country. That is not even my problem. But we all know that Dangote is the richest man in Africa. But Dangote's son got married. It happened in Lagos here at a hotel. Nobody shared iPhone. That is the richest man in Africa. Even if he chose to give out cars, we know he can afford it. But Buhari, is it not the same Buhari that during their campaign in 2015, he claimed that he didn't have money to buy the party ticket to run for president?
Abio, so his son has that kind of money and he did not borrow his father to buy the presidential ticket to run for 2015 election. You allowed Tinubu to be the one to give him the money. Now Buhari has refused to give Tinubu his ticket money back. That is why Tinubu has decided to be the president too, so that he can collect his money back. You know that Tinubu is a political investor.
Are you guys seeing the people that came to fight corruption? You can see the intensity at which they are fighting it. This is the same country where EFCC break into people's home in the middle of the night, claiming they are looking for Yahoo boys without search warrant. You break into people's home in the middle of the night without search warrant. You plant weapons in people's home to get them implicated and arrest them. You even kill some of them and you proudly put it out to the world that you kill people without trial. Yet the same country, someone is giving out hundreds of expensive phones worth 700,000 naira each to his wedding guests and nobody's investigating the source of his money. How wonderful.
Uncle, stop stressing yourself now. You will invite high blood pressure for yourself. Oh. Please, my school fees is at stake. Oh. I already told you the name of the company that Yusuf Buhari owns now.
FBI didn't break into Hush Puppy's house in the middle of the night. They didn't break into Taylor Abakiari's house in the middle of the night to arrest him.
So you want to compare Intelligent Investigation Unit with the political hunting dogs? DSS, AFCC, Nigerian Police, the Nigerian Army, all of them are doing political service now. They are no longer working for the country.
This is just wickedness in the highest order. You just woke up and gang up with your team to come and take over the country and get people impoverished and oppress them, stealing all the funds, and you turn back again to borrow money from whoever is willing to lend.
Uncle, forget that, you know. Even if Benin Republic want to borrow us money, sir, Buhari will go and borrow.
So if Yusuf Buhari had this kind of money, why is Buhari still borrowing money? If you ask them, they will tell you there's no money in the country. Yet they are stealing this money and lavishing it. I'm sure some people will be wondering, how did the Taliban overthrow the US military and the Afghanistan army combined, even though they are far lesser in number? Let me tell you this. The same way Buhari has been romancing Boko Haram, herdsmen and the rest of them is the same way Afghanistan was romancing the Talibans. Buhari and his cohort have been recruiting Boko Haram into the Nigerian military in the guise that they have repented.
Someone that is a terrorist that have been killing people, you now legally give him weapons and uniforms and say he has repented. If that is how it works, then why do we still have criminals in the prison now? Is it that these people that are in Nigerian prison, those ones, they have refused to repent? Please, if you have someone that is inside the prison, whether a friend or a relative, please find a way to reach them and tell them so that they can send a message to Buhari that they have repented so that they can release them from prison. In fact, the man will even ask them which ministry they want to join. If you went to prison because you stole, they will recruit you into the police. Please, I did not say police used to steal. Before you people will go and implication my implicability. If you went to prison because you killed someone, they will either recruit you into SARS or the army. Then, if you went to prison because you committed internet fraud, they will now recruit you to join EFCC. But if you went to prison because you stole money, either from the bank or in your office, or you broke into somebody's house to steal money, any stealing of money, that one, they will recruit you to either join the Senate or House of Representatives. Please reach out to the people in the prison that you know. Let them repent very quick. Now that there is vacancy for repented criminals, Because it's only Boko Haram that has been enjoying this repented job awardment alone. Oh. Buhari has opened this window. Repent and get a government job instantly. Do it quick because Buhari has limited time to leave office.
The same way Buhari has been recruiting Boko Haram into the military is the same way Afghanistan was recruiting the Talibans into their military. So the Taliban infiltrated the army and it was very easy for them to liaise with the guys within the system and take over the government. Very smooth and easy. No stress. Buhari and his people know what they are doing. You think they don't know? Bandits can go into the zone of the military and kill 2 military men and still adopt a major. How did the bandits come in? Where did they pass? How could they kidnap a whole major? We are not talking about a corporal, not a sergeant, not even a captain. A major was kidnapped from the zone of the military without any battle. No bandit was killed. That tells you that the percentage of terrorists that have been positioned in the Nigerian army is more than the normal military personnel.
Simple. No two ways about it. If you pass Bonicam here, you will see the tight security that is in the military cantonment there. Then in the north that terrorists exist. Your people want us to believe that security level there is now loose, abi?
Now the Taliban can easily establish their Sharia law once everyone evacuates the country and the nation will become theirs for life. It's a calculated plan. The people in the Nigerian government also, they know what they are doing.
When I saw in the news how Talibans were lounging in the presidential lodge, hey! I could imagine Boko Haram and headsmen inside Asu Rock flexing.
Where in the history of this country has it ever happened that the military and the police will protect terrorists against their own citizens? It only happened that way because a good number of them rubbed shoulders together. So there is no way you take your gun and go into the forest to fight someone that you were once in the same forest together because you have now been given uniform and you are collecting salary. They are the same people. That's why the military and the police can't lift a finger against Boko Haram, herdsmen and the rest of them. That's just it.
If the picture has been blurred to you, now we are painting it very clear now to understand that you cannot cook rice and beans together then you want to serve only rice alone. No, nah, they go together.
Do you know that gold has been found in northern Nigeria? And do you know that there are some greedy people that have invited the Chinese and collected some money from them to allow them to mine gold to make it the same way they did to our crude oil, where individuals own oil wells and the rest of the country is wallowing in poverty? We all know Ghana has discovered oil recently. But do you know what Ghana did? Ghana invited those people who need oil and signed contracts with them. They asked them, do you want oil? They said yes. They signed a contract. You will build us 5 world standard hospitals in 5 designated places in Ghana and you drill a certain quantity of oil for these 5 years. Signed and sealed. They call another guys, do you want oil? They say yes. Okay, you construct routes for us in 5 strategic areas in Ghana with so length and you drill a certain amount of oil. They seal that too. People are wondering that car production companies will still start assembling cars in Ghana and not Nigeria. Some people are saying it's because of insecurity. You think insecurity is the only problem? Never. The Ghanaian government invited these guys themselves and signed a deal with them.
Nigerian government can't even invite them because the number one basic thing they cannot give them, which is power. They cannot provide power for them. By next year now, many new cars that will be driven in Nigeria and other parts of Africa, they will be shipped from Ghana, not from abroad anymore. I am happy for my dear Ghana. Forward ever.
The Ghanaian government invited the Chinese and told them to build a chocolate factory in Ghana and produce chocolate from Ghana to ship back to China and the rest of the world. They refused to sell their cocoa bean to anybody. That contract also has been signed. So you can see a country that its currency will soon start dragging space with the US dollar in the forex market. That is a country that understands development. That's a government that is economical and intellectual inclined. That's a government that wants to move away from the third world country syndrome. But the lunatics that we call leaders, I don't blame them at all. I don't. Nigerians were the cause of our misfortune.
You used your 2 left legs and walked from your house and went to stand under the sun to vote for Buhari. That is not even my own problem. My problem is that after he misperformed the first time, you still went and voted for him the second time again. Wonderful.
Yeah, we are the cause of our predicament. The same way they were telling Nigeria not to vote for Buhari because he doesn't have certificate. In the first place, why will a president of a whole country be required to use just a secondary school certificate to get into power?
Even the manager of a restaurant they will tell you that they want minimum of BSc. But the number one citizen of a country, they need only primary school certificate. Please, who was the person that wrote this constitution in the first place?
Abacha and his gang. They know what they did. Abacha knew what he did. And throughout their 8 years in office, there is never a time that you hear a leader say they are going abroad for leadership training. When they go abroad, it's either they want to go for medical checkup or they are going to tour and to lunch with our money and squander our national wealth. Now, another old man is telling us that he wants to run in 2023.
That one is Jagaban of Lagos now. Oga Ahmed Tinubu, he wants to now graduate from Jagaban of Lagos to become Jagaban of the whole Nigeria. Yeah!
A country where they are using billions to service refineries that are not working. Does that not tell you who they are?
Forget that thing. That is indirect way of stealing money.
What stops you from allowing investors to take over these refineries and pay you for using them? At least oil will be refined in your own country and you will stop importing. We have this cocoa in large quantity. We have rubber. We have oil. We have palm oil. We have many other mineral resources. Only the light problem alone, if it's sorted out. Imagine the amount of diesel and petrol that is burned on daily basis to generate power. If you stop importing that quantity alone, the currency will gain value by 40%.
They can't let power work. Oh. If they let power work, how would they be able to be stealing money from importing oil, and how can they be selling their generators and making money from import duties?
God will not allow us Nigerians to still allow that to happen to us like we did with Buhari. Because Tinubu too does not know his left from his right. He's just hunger for power. Tinubu is not even medically okay. We saw him falling during his last birthday. You want to bring another half-dead man into Aso Rock and appoint ministers that will be the ones to be making decisions as if it's their father's company. I want to assure Nigerians, trust me, we are getting through this mess. I am so certain about this. This is the last wave of this nonsense that we are seeing. All these evil and lunatic illiterates will soon be flushed out of the system. The darkest time of the night is between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. A new dawn is coming. But the youth will need to get serious. If we enforce the seriousness that we put into football and Big Brother Nigeria into the political affairs of this country, we will overcome. We either get serious and flush these people out of the system, or we wait and complain for another 8 years.
That is if hunger and poverty